Good afternoon once again. Today is Friday, the 12th of March 2021, and this is the English language summary of the daily press briefing that we have for you every day. So thank you first to Dr. Pen Papao, Dr. Boom, who gave us the Thai language edition of the summary. Worldwide, at the global level now, we have accumulated number of COVID cases that has now surpassed 119 million, 119 million. Now, in Thailand, of course, we're holding steady, so to speak, with the better numbers, but hopefully those numbers will be staying with all of your cooperation. That's very, very important. Before going into the numbers and some of the observations from the current situation that we had heard in the Thai language edition, which would also end with the issue about the AstraZeneca vaccine. Before that, I'll just give some additional information first, which may be relevant to the English language audience or the foreign business community in Thailand, in Phuket actually. So as we look forward to the opening up of the country and easing the quarantine measures, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through the Deputy Director General of Consular Affairs of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and his team, attended a roundtable discussion in Phuket recently, this past week. This meeting was called the Phuket 1st October, and you see some pictures on there on screen to learn about the market sentiment and talk to foreign business entrepreneurs there. So it was hosted by a consortium of leading Phuket businesses to aim to discuss preparations for the reopening of the island to tourism from the 1st of October 2021. Now, representatives of the Foreign Ministry joined in the discussion with local authorities and listened to the private sector's concerns on the economic impact of COVID and the possible policies that will be put in place to revive Phuket's economy. As you know, Phuket has a very thriving economy and in terms of the tourism industry as well. So some of the key concerns from that meeting and some requests from the private sector, also Thai and foreign private sector in Phuket, include that they would need to seek clarification on the distribution of vaccines for local residents there and business operators in Phuket. Secondly, to expand access to vaccines, allowing private hospitals to access vaccines for distribution so that at least 70% of Phuket's population is vaccinated as soon as possible to build herd immunity. Now, third is to seek clarification on whether vaccinated foreign tourists need to enter the quarantine system or not. Now, all of these issues were taken in. It was very good feedback from the discussion, and they will be discussed in due course by relevant authorities and implemented, and we will continue to keep you updated on the developments from here at the CCSA. So, as you can see, we're going province specific now, including, of course, provinces which are important to the tourism industry and for the economy. So the authorities are going to Phuket and perhaps in due course to other provinces to specifically see what their current needs at this moment in time is, at this point in time when we are receiving vaccines and shifting towards going back to normalcy. Now, going to the general situation, a number of cases that we have for today. We have 81 new confirmed cases for today. The current active cases still being treated remains at 538. So it's been in the 500, more or less, plus minus number for a few days now, which is a good number, hoping that it will be lower than 500 in due course. So you can see on screen there, it's self-explanatory regarding the numbers. Just some observations. So from the 81 new confirmed cases, I'll break that down into 30 plus 37 plus 14, which makes 81 exactly. So 30 cases of that number of 81, 30 cases detected in hospitals and healthcare facilities, majority from Samut Sakhon and also from Pathum Thani and Bangkok, and including Thai nationals, Myanmar nationals, Cambodian, and one Lao national as well in that group. Now, 37 cases out of 81 are from active case finding today, which the majority are from Samut Sakhon province, followed by Pathum Thani and Tak province. And this number of positive cases from active case finding include nationals from Myanmar, Cambodia, as well aside from Thai nationals. And lastly, 14 cases out of 81 are from overseas, who traveled from overseas and who have been put directly into our state quarantine system. So breaking that down, 30 plus 37 plus 14 into three groups of the 81 cases we have for today. So as you can see, the health authorities continue to find new cases of COVID in Samut Sakhon, Pathum Thani, Bangkok, and other parts of the country. Now, overall, the situation remains stable, steady, as I mentioned. On the screen, we'll have coming up for you that between this 9th of February to the 12th of March, now 65 provinces have not reported any cases for at least 1 week. And in addition, there are 10 provinces that have reported cases during the past 3 days. So the potential risk in some provinces still remain. The CCSA daily meeting this morning also had a video conference with the Deputy Governor of Samut Sakhon online conference to follow up on the situation, wherein we were updated on that more than 13,000 people in Samut Sakhon have now been vaccinated, and that the province stands ready to vaccinate locals every day, according to their plan. And they have received 70,000 vaccines, aiming to vaccinate 35,000 people by the end of next week. So those are very good numbers. The numbers are high numbers in terms of the progress of vaccination, which is very, very good, going on very well. The Deputy Governor of Samut Sakhon also sent a letter to the CCSA and Interior Ministry to propose that some areas of the province be revised from the red color zone, or which is the highest disease control level, down to orange, and that the disease control measures be relaxed for additional types of business establishments from the 1st of April 2021. So that is a proposal from within Samut Sakhon to categorize certain areas of the province. As you recall earlier, the designation of each province has its own specific details, meaning in one particular province, some districts within those provinces might be at a higher or lower level designation than the other parts of the same province. And they also proposed for some business establishments to have to be relaxed in terms of the control measures. So we'll be considering those proposals from that province. And with regard to the bubble and seal strategy, it was reported in Samut Sakhon that an average of 2 to 3% of workers tested with RT-PCR tests in various factories in Samut Sakhon tested positive. So that's 2 to 3%, and they have been sent to field hospitals. Not a very high number, which is good, actually. The local disease control committee is still awaiting for further details from 2 factories in this. The province has also still active surveillance in place and plans to conduct more than 1,000 active case findings today in particular. The province has vaccinated healthcare workers already and plans to vaccinate people with underlying health conditions and the general public in the province in due course. Just like to reassure you that the Health Ministry strongly recommends that members of the public remain vigilant and continue to observe DMHTT despite the lower numbers and more stable and steadier situation that we have right now. Now, for overall within the country, number of those who have been vaccinated in Thailand, the rollout continues. So as of the 11th of March, yesterday actually, 40,140, over 40,000 people have been vaccinated since the 28th of February until the 11th of March yesterday. That's our tally. There were no major incidents with major side effects reported among those who were vaccinated, which is good news. There are actually some cases of unintended reaction towards the vaccines, but not in terms of a serious degree. And health authorities are closely monitoring these inoculations and encouraging everyone that will be inoculated, qualified to be inoculated, to download the MOPROM application to follow up on the possible side effects after the vaccination that may or may not occur. Now, the final issue that I'll be mentioning is about the vaccination from AstraZeneca. Now, there were news reports indicating that a number of countries, including Denmark, Norway, and Iceland, suspended the use of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine, following reports that a small number of people had developed blood clots after receiving the vaccine. So the Health Ministry of Thailand, Ministry of Public Health of Thailand, has called for a discussion this morning, to address the concerns for this issue, and with any result coming out, we will be informing you about that. So we're keeping tab with the current information that we hear around the world about the feedback, the side effects, if any, of any particular brand or any particular vaccine that we have been or are in our plan to be used in Thailand. Now, the Ministry of Public Health has also decided to temporarily suspend the inoculation of AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine, just temporarily, pending on clarifications on further investigations because of this news report. This is, of course, to ensure the utmost safety of its use in Thailand. So I repeat the keyword, utmost safety, for people residing in Thailand, Thais and foreign nationals alike who are qualified to be inoculated in Thailand in due course. But of course, this is temporary. It's just until we investigate and receive more information, the global trend and the information received from news medias around the world, and the reaction, the reports from our various Thai embassies around the world as well on the effectiveness of various vaccines. So just to be 100% sure, but in no way, it would in no way affect our vaccination and inoculation plan for at least half of the population of our country. And for emergency use, of course, the first 3 priority groups, and in no way that this would affect the inoculation plan that will come in due course. All of this, of course, to finally get rid of COVID within our country once and for all. So this is all I have for today. We'll see you again next Monday, because now we have the briefing during Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So hope you have a very, very pleasant weekend ahead, and please stay safe. And I'll see you again on Monday. Thank you, and สวัสดีครับ
ครับขอบพระคุณนะครับท่านณัฐภานุ นพคุณนะครับรองอธิบดีกรมสารนิเทศและรองโฆษกกระทรวงการต่างประเทศนะครับและทั้งหมดคือการแถลงข่าวในช่วง 11:30 น.จากทางสบคนะครับแต่ว่า 14 นาฬิกาตรงวันนี้ครับเราจะมาพูดคุยประเด็นข้อกังวลเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของความปลอดภัยในการใช้วัคซีนหลายคนคาดหวังหรือว่ามองไปข้างหน้าถึงเรื่องของการทำประกันภัยเอาไว้ว่าวัคซีนที่ฉีดไปกรณีที่เกิดความไม่ปลอดภัยจะมีใครสักคนหนึ่งจะเข้ามาช่วยดูแลเยียวยาหรือเข้ามาช่วยเหลือนะครับวันนี้ช่วงบ่ายนะครับเราจะมาพูดคุยกับทางคปภ.เกี่ยวกับความชัดเจนเรื่องของประกันภัยการแพ้วัคซีนโควิด -19 แล้วก็มาตรการในการดูแลผู้ประกันภัยเกี่ยวกับโควิด -19 นะครับใครสนใจอย่าลืมกลับมาพบกัน 14 นาฬิกานะครับบ่าย 2 โมงตรงนะครับและทั้งหมดคือการแถลงข่าวจากสบคในช่วงเช้าวันนี้ครับผมสุพนันท์ ฤทธิ์ มนตรีลาไปก่อนครับสวัสดีครับ